Hi Flosstube. I'm almost a whole week late. I do have a giveaway winner, I promise. I'll announce that at the end. But I've got a pretty darn good week and a half to show you. So it's actually going to be a pretty long video, I think. So get your snacks. First, I hope everybody had a good Halloween. This was the first year that you know, the kids really were into the trick-or-treating. And we went to my mom's. She lives in a subdivision, and she lives all the way at the back end. And my son actually walked all the way from her house to the very front and did every single house. It was over almost 2 miles of walking, because it's 0.8 miles from the front of the subdivision to my mom's house. And we did all of the little, you know, the couple side streets and everything. So yeah, for 4 years old, that kid can walk. Got very cold, but he did good. 2-year-old had to be run home at a certain point, which is fine. But so we've got candy galore. But my son also put up a huge fit at the dentist on Monday and ended up not getting his teeth cleaned. So we came home and I told him no more candy until you go to the dentist. And we're gonna try again this week. So we'll see how that goes. I also had a busy couple weeks working at the L&S. I usually only work on Thursday evenings. I actually worked last Saturday and the Saturday before in addition to my Thursday evenings. So it doesn't happen very often where I work on Saturdays, and it was just kind of random that they needed me back to back on Saturdays. But it was nice. I'm glad to be back to my 1 day a week, and it'll be nice to have Thanksgiving week off. So it'll be nice, but I did kind of treat myself since I worked so many hours over the last 2 weeks there. And I'll show you that with my haul at the end. Thanksgiving and Christmas. I can't believe how close it is. I know I've started seeing Thanksgiving pieces stitched. I've got a ton of finishes and works in progress for Christmas gifts to show you. So what are you guys working on? I mean, what do you have left to finish for Christmas gifts? I know I've got a couple more to do for coworkers. So, and then last Sunday I actually got a day to pretty much relax and work on my own stuff and some stitching. So I've got some FFOs to show you from that. Today's look is brought to you by Single Mom Weekend. My husband left at 7:30 this morning, and he will be back tomorrow around 9. But he'll be useless until about 3. He is doing a fundraiser for his employment, the hospital he works for. He does IT, but the hospital that he works for is doing a fundraiser for the children's network, the different children's charity groups that they run. So he is actually at his office with a whole bunch of other IT guys, and they are gaming for 24 hours. It turns out to be kind of a little getaway for him. But board games, card games, video games, they do a little bit of everything. So I am single mom for the weekend. Had to take both kids to the bowling alley this morning for my son's bowling league, which he's doing a lot better at this year. I'm really excited to see how he does next year. He's interacting with the kids, he's paying attention and gets up when it's his turn, and he's learning how to throw the ball instead of just dropping it. So he's got 8 weeks of that left. After that, I'll have my Saturday mornings back. Tried to go to a craft show today. Saw a couple of things that I haven't seen before. One gal had all kinds of wine glasses and mugs, and she uses clay, and she made sculptures on them. I mean, amazing works of art, and it was like fantasy. My mom actually purchased one, and man, I hope my husband doesn't watch this video, actually, because it was a gift for him for Christmas. And it's a mug, and it has a dragon head on it, and it's got a glass eye, very realistic looking. The detail on it is just amazing. So we just couldn't pass it up. We had to get one. And he'll probably just have to use it for like a pencil jar or something on his desk. But I think it's really cool, and I think he'll really appreciate the artwork for it. So that was something new that I'd never seen before. Other than that, planning on getting this video filmed and uploaded, and when the kids get up from nap, we'll see what happens with the rest of the day. So, FFOs. I think I'm sure I showed this as a finish before. I did get this finished. Took it over to my mom. She stitched up the little pillow for me. I dropped my machine off at the shop, so eventually I'll be doing my own pillows. But all I did was put that together. We actually stitched the hanging ribbon right in between the seam, and then I just used the I call it, I know it as squiggly ribbon. I think that's what Yvonne called it when I first learned about this edging technique. Wonky ribbon is what it's called in the Shepherd's Bush YouTube video that shows how to do this. So that's one more little gift done and out of the way. And that's a Christmas gift for a coworker. This was a finish and an FFO. I really got to the point where I was having a hard time working on this one when I was just doing the stitching part. So I forced myself to kind of power through, and I worked on it mostly last Sunday. This was a Mill Hill kit. I believe it's called Seaside Sampler. I apologize. I don't know where the pattern is right this minute. And all I did was get one of the Mill Hill frames and picked up a pack of the points at Michael's to stick in there and hold this in. So I think that turned out really cute. She loves lighthouses. Really hope she likes that. So that's two gifts down, completely done. Excuse the rustling. I'm trying to keep it in this package that the frame came in so that I don't ding it up or anything. The last FFO that I have, I also shared as a finish before. And this was my friend's birth announcement for her son. I picked up this frame at Meijer, and I believe it was even on sale when I got it. And I just love the way that frame looks. I love how it looks. It's totally her style. She obviously doesn't have it yet, but she has seen it. I did show her. She loves it. So this, I was just going to show you how I do my finishing. I did pop the glass out of this one because when I mounted it on the mat board, I did put a thin layer of cotton batting. So it's got a little bit of height to it. And I use stitchery tape. I know some people lace. I've never tried lacing. I learned using stitchery tape, and I put this on the mat board. I put stitchery tape down on all four sides of the mat board, and then I peel the backing off, but I only show a little bit at a time, and I kind of just wiggle it and play with it until it's stretched to my liking. And I kind of measure as I'm doing it to make sure I'm keeping it centered. And then I popped the glass out, just popped this in. And removing the glass also gave me that extra room so that this back actually clips back in where it's supposed to. So I think she said they plan on hanging it on the wall. She asked me for the dimensions so she could start planning where it's going to go. So I'm excited to see how that looks in the baby's room. Sorry, I actually took notes this time so I could remember to touch on everything I wanted to. I have a finish and an awesome story that goes with this finish. This is the finish. Got something behind there. Bat Moon by Stone Street Stitchworks. This was, if you remember, all of the silk floss, and the pattern that came in the Countdown to Halloween Stitchy box. I love this little cat in the window. So, I showed this in my last video, or maybe it was the one before, I can't remember. Either way, it must have been my last one. The next morning, had a message in Etsy from the shop owner, Stone Street Stitchworks. And she said that somebody had viewed my Flosstube video and caught that I had mentioned that I purchased the pattern right before getting it in my stitchy box. And the shop owner told me she would like me to pick out any pattern from her shop, since I had essentially bought the pattern twice, so that she could send me the PDF. Wow, I was really floored. So I did. I picked out another pattern. So generous. Thank you to whoever my viewer was. That was awesome. Totally unexpected. Blew me away. I can't say enough good things. So again, check her out on Etsy. It is Stone Street Stitchworks. She's got some great little patterns, and I had bought another one before. So I now have 4 of her patterns. Well, 3 in addition to this one. And I can't wait to start the other one. The other one that I bought, if you remember, was Night to Day, and I'm really excited to try that, or stitch that up. So, thank you again to my viewer, and thank you again to Salma, the shop owner. So, this finish. It's a finish, but it's not a finish. The beads were not all in the ones that I had ordered for this. I literally have 5 beads to put into this before it's done. But, find some paper to put behind this. My Nora Tiger Lily is done. And I freaking love her. She's just stunning. You can see 2 beads there, 3 in her headpiece. That's it. I stitched this on Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I believe it was 32 count linen. It could be, yeah, it looks like 32 count linen. The color is milk chocolate. I absolutely loved stitching on this linen. I think I will order more of this color to keep on hand. It turned out to be a great color to use. I'm just in love. I am going to take this to work and have our shop owner frame it. With all of the beads, I need to have that little bit of a recess behind the glass so they don't get crushed. And I'm not where I want to be with my framing yet to do this myself. So, I will pay to have her done. She will hang on my bedroom wall. She will not go anywhere. Thank you again to a dear stitching friend for letting me borrow this pattern. It means so much to me. I'm really glad that I could get this stitched up relatively quickly so I can get that pattern back to you. So appreciative. Can't wait to get her on my wall. So that was my big finish, and I finished that on, must have been Thursday night actually, when I got home from work. 4 hours of beading. So worth it. That is all I've got for finishes. I just had the 2. My whips, I had the Mill Hill kit as a whip that is done, obviously. I worked on this, as you may recall, is also a Christmas gift for a coworker. So I need to get going on this, but really it's not going to take any time at all to finish. This is Sam Sarah, yep, Sam Sarah B is for B. So this is such a quick stitch. Not sure how I'm going to finish this. Kind of thinking I'm going to mount it on some mat board. I might mount it on a block a little bit off on purpose, tilted, stitching friend of mine, Susan Pearson, she posted in Stitch Mania and posted her finish on a block that had some tin behind it, and she did it tilted so that you could see some of the tin. And I really liked how that looked. And then she had a burlap bow on it, I think, as well. So may use that for an inspiration for my finish, or for my FFO. After finishing Tiger Lily, I pulled out Renaissance Mermaid. You're not going to get a full shot because I moved the Q-snap again. But she does have her tail. I do have the tail down all the way to where it curves and opens up to the fin. Chunks done in there. But I moved the frame back up, and I'm going to force myself to power through and finish this skin. I really don't have that much. Just this little bit of arm, this little bit of side, and then the rest of her arm over here. I just want that done. And then I can actually backstitch that whole top half. Work down and backstitch. Whoa, sorry, dropped my phone. Backstitch the sides of the tail. Move down and finish this stitching at the bottom. And then I actually want to start getting some beads on there because I just can't resist. It's gonna be so shimmery and shiny. I just can't resist. So, again, this one is a shop model. I'd like to get it done relatively soon, but after stitching Tiger Lily and working on this, I kind of need a break from. Excuse me, sorry. I need my phone later to show you something. Need a break from the Nora, Mira, you know, ladies, mermaids. My other whip was also a new start last night. And I think I actually mentioned this specific pattern in my last video. I have 2 coworkers left that I need to stitch some, you know, just an ornament size gift for. So I pulled out, and I'm going to stitch this moose for one of them. Roxy, come lay down. You don't need to go out. You were just out. Come on. Come on. Lay down. So I started him last night. Pulled out some 28 count even weave, and this actually has sparkle in it. Started the little moose. That's how far I've gotten. And actually, because of the color of the linen, or the even weave, I can save some time. All of this blue stitching around the outline of the moose, I'm eliminating because I pulled the colors and the floss matches the fabric almost perfect. There's no point in doing it. Oh my goodness. I swear, I thought this video would be a breeze to record with children sleeping, and now the dog's just gonna drive me nuts. 1 minute. Dog? You gotta quit scratching the door. Oh. Sorry. Okay. That's it for whips. But I am planning a new start for right after I finish this video. This is, the pattern is technically from my haul. This is a designer, she's either from Ukraine or Russia. She's got her own site on Facebook, and I can't give you the name because it's in another language. I apologize. But I know other people have seen her work and stitched her work. Best experience purchasing from her. I was not knowing anybody personally that had purchased from her. I was kind of like, eh. But her prices are so absurdly low that it was worth the gamble. I ordered 4 patterns. The next morning, I had an email with the PDFs. She gives you 4 PDFs for each pattern. One is color chart of just the pattern. Second is color chart of the pattern with the back stitching. Third chart is black and white, symbols only. Fourth chart was the black and white with symbols, and then colored outline or colored coded back stitching guide. And then plus the key and everything else. Her work is just beautiful. I bought 4 of her patterns. This is the one that I am starting today. I couldn't resist. This one is called Dragon Phoenix. Look at those colors. Holy crap. So, I took my flash drive to Staples. I'll show you the other patterns that I bought too, actually, since I'm in here. I purchased the Lighthouse. Oops. And the Hourglass. Just gorgeous. And the little Witch and Fox with the moon. I actually was watching Flosstube yesterday, and I cannot for the life of me. Buckeye Stitcher, I believe, was actually talking about this pattern. Somebody had sent it to her. So I'm excited to stitch that one too. I don't know that I'll stitch all of the white stars in the background. I might leave that off. No, not sure yet. But anyway, I am starting Dragon Phoenix today. I happened to go to Joann yesterday and got all of the floss because even though I already have it, they had their 3 for 99 cent sale. And I figured I'll probably go through most of a skein of each color for this one. So just love the colors. Love the pattern. Cannot wait to get going on this. Stitched up, I'm going to use 28 count antique white Joblin. It was a pack I got at Hobby Lobby on clearance this summer. I already cut my piece. You know, it's basically a full coverage. It uses full crosses, half crosses, 2 strands of floss, 1 strand of floss for the effects in that pattern. So, but it's only 4 pages. The stitch size is 105 by 140. So I think it'll be nice to do that versus starting another Haid or working on one of them I've already started. So that's my plans for this afternoon, and maybe work on that Christmas moose a little bit more, and the bees. Force myself to do a little bit, because realistically, I mean, we're in the 2nd weekend of November already. I have got to get this Christmas stitching done, because I procrastinate, and I can't procrastinate anymore. I've got to get it done so I can get them finished and set aside and out of the way and not stress about it. Before I do haul, I did want to mention Flosstube. I mentioned I got caught up on a little bit. A video that I was super excited about, Rachel is back. She was off of Flosstube for a few months and announced that she is pregnant. Congratulations. So excited for you. Was so excited to see you back to Flosstube. I hope everything continues, you know, well with your pregnancy. Can't wait to see what you work on stitching. Lori, Mischievous Stitcher, watched a couple of her recent videos. She got a few racks and other surprises. They were all great. And I know she's planning a year of samplers for next year. I personally am not a huge fan of samplers, but I can't wait to see the ones that she does. So, Cindy, at Cindy's Cross Stitch, she had a lot of finishes, Halloween finishes on her last, or can't say her last video because I may have missed one now. It's been 2 weeks. But she also had some pumpkins, and I know she mentioned Lori has also done those pumpkins. They were super cute. And they were like fabric covered pumpkins. It wasn't cross stitch. It was a holiday decoration. And then a new floss tuber that I found that I just watched her first video this morning, actually. Emmy Irwin. It's E-M-M-Y Irwin, E-R-W-I-N. Her first video, it was great. Check her out, guys. She's got some cute whips. I can't wait to see what else she starts doing. So Looks like according to my notes, I just have haul and then my winner announcement. And really, let's see, we're at 25 minutes. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. Let's start with, well, let's start with this actually. Ooh, I mentioned I went to Joann yesterday. Happened to cruise through the clearance section. Found this. Halloween clearance was 70% off. This opens up. It also has a hook and chain. You could hang it. So I picked this up. I got it for 15 bucks. My Joann's had a few of them left. It's got a little round base here. So my plan for this is to find a tall or tall-ish pillar candle. One of the battery-operated ones, I preferably. Or just get a spooky candle next year and never light it. And what I'm going to do is, like, especially with Bat Moon, I'm going to finish that as a pillow. And then a pillow or a flat finish. And I'm going to display them in here. So I've got kind of like a spooky Halloween display. So I thought that would be fun. For 15 bucks, why not? Now I have showed it to you and I can pack it away. I also picked up just a plastic ornament. And I'm going to use this for all of my orts for the entire year. I'm not sure if I'll continue that for every single year, but I thought it was a cool idea. I thought I'd give it a try this year. I saved all of my orts. You know, and it's crazy to look in the jar and see the layers and be able to really name exactly what projects you were working on. So, figured I'd give that a shot. Let's see. I'm getting some of this little stuff out of the way. A couple bags of floss away bags. Oh, this was not haul from this week, but with the, I'm just going to give you a brief flash, full coverage chart that I'm going to do for that Dragon Phoenix. I'm going to try using this highlighting tape, glow line tape, 1/4 inch transparent fluorescent tape for highlighting lines and shapes on rulers. I've been told that it's supposed to be pretty removable, so I want to give it a shot and see how that works. Actually, what I'll probably do is just leave the papers in the page protector, and I can put this right on the page protector, and then it shouldn't be a problem to peel off of the plastic. But I think I'm going to give that a shot and see how that goes. So then I can use the different colors to mark different spots that I leave off. And on to the real haul. These are the printouts for the other 3 patterns that I showed you the pictures of already. I'm running out of space on my couch. Picked up this kit off of eBay. The only other cross stitcher at our retreat this fall was working on this, and I fell in love. So I've kind of been watching eBay, ended up getting this one for 10 bucks. Totally worth it. Don't know when I'll stitch it, but I will. Picked up, you remember the Spirits and Spells Brenda Gervais Witch that I just stitched on 40 count. Fell in love with 40 count, so I picked up on Stash Unload. This is 40 count, the white is 40 count, and there's actually a couple of pieces there. They're 9x9 squares. And then this is actually 36 count, but I picked up some of these smaller counts to keep on hand for some of my patterns. This was another eBay purchase. I think I got this for 8 bucks. I just got this week. Cardinals. Might try to get that stitched actually for my grandma for Christmas. I don't know if I can do one more Christmas gift. Really, it's been a lot lately. Found these on, Yeah, I'll do these next. Found these on Facebook, the sale group, the marketplace on Facebook, and they were from a little over an hour away. So I messaged and asked if they would be interested in PayPal and mailing it to me. Specifically, I'll show you this pattern. This is the one that I wanted. Every time these are posted on Stash Unload, I miss out. So, this was listed for $5 on Marketplace. And really, I'd rather have Noel over the 4 seasons anyway. It's actually Celtic Christmas, sorry. But I'd rather have this one over the 4 seasons anyway. I will happily stitch her and frame her and bring her out every Christmas. So, that was the one that I wanted. There was some back and forth. It sounded like the person on Facebook was selling it for somebody else. I obviously offered to pay shipping. She said the person was going to check and see how much shipping was going to be. She came back and she said it would be $18 total. And I said, okay, well, that's more than I expected it would be. I think I'll pass. She messaged me back a few days later, so I kind of had put it out of my mind. Because I wasn't willing to drive an hour and 20 minutes just to go pick up this pattern. She messaged me a few days later. She said that the gal had weighed and calculated postage for overnight, so that's why the shipping had been so expensive, and when this third party explained that that wasn't necessary, she was basically counter-offering, asked me if I would want that, as well as this pattern, $4 each and $3 shipping. Sure, why not? I don't know that I'll ever stitch Santa. He's not really my style. Maybe take the words off. I don't know. I'm not in love with Santa. He may end up as a giveaway in the future, guys. But it was worth it. I got Celtic Christmas. And that will be my first lavender and lace. Let's see. Whole bunch of, the rest of this is all from work. I mentioned the Brenda Gervais Spirits and Spells. She came out with a Santa. I had to get it. I fell in love with that witch, and this is so similar. Those swirls in the background, I love it. And I'm not a primitive style at all, like, kind of surprised, but I love it. So I picked that up. Spirit of Christmas Part 3. I don't know if any of you are stitching this or have not gotten it or have not seen it. I don't want to show off the pattern in case anybody doesn't want to see it. Maybe I'll just show off part of it because those are the parts that have already been released, 1 and 2. Next Main Street installment. Aha! Plum Street. Love this. Love it. I actually almost started this one today, but I really wanted to start the other one. Hello Fall. Can't wait to start using that one. I pulled the colors at work and looked at them. Nope, I lied. I pulled the colors for a different one that I'm going to show you. I gotta find something good to stitch this on. I'm excited. This is the one that I pulled colors for because I liked this gingham background and I considered switching and stitching it on gingham instead of using gingham on the background. We had a darker, sorry, the dog's going nuts. A darker brown and sage gingham at work, and I thought it would work, but when I threw the colors on it, it was just the greens were too close. It didn't work. In the meantime, I did find some gingham in my stash that I had bought, and it's white or antique white and a lighter sage. That may work. So I might take that with me to work on Thursday, pull the colors again, and see how that looks. But this is Annie B's Folk Art. The pattern is Thankful Pumpkins, and I believe this was a new release. because we just got the order this week. And it was the only one at the shop, and I just realized I did not put it on our reorder list. This was picked up this week as well. We finally got it in. I know it's been out for a little bit. Lila's Studio Halloween Quaker. Love that. I love that owl. I love those 4 black cats. I love the witch. It's awesome. Now I gotta find fabric for that. This was my treat to myself for all those hours that I put in at work. I eyeballed this when it first came out. I questioned the cost of the silk pack. I passed. I bit the bullet and bought it. Jeanette Douglas, Halloween Sampler. Oh my god, it's so cool. So cool. Here are the threads. Do you see that, Bryce? I freaked out. But, like I said, I worked all of those hours between 2 weeks at the shop, and I don't normally work that much. And this is my addiction supplying job. I mean, I spend my paycheck at the shop. I don't get a paycheck. I give it right back to the shop. I work for store credit. But I finally bought it. I kind of figure worst case scenario because, oh look, she's got a Christmas sampler advertised on the back of this. Awesome. This is calling for 35 count Confederate Gray by Weeks Dye Works. It doesn't look gray at all. Anyway, worst case scenario. Are the buttons in here? Yep, buttons are in this pack as well. Okay, cool. The shop owner did mention that she would love this stitched as a shop sample. So I kind of figure worst case scenario. Since I spent all the money on it. If I decide, especially since I bought the other Halloween Quaker too, I could get this stitched up and I could probably work it out with the owner to turn it into a store sample and get credit for it. And not have to, you know, pay for all of the stuff. So we'll see. I like them both. I never really thought I was a particular season person. I always thought Christmas was my favorite holiday. I'm quickly becoming a Halloween stitcher, or at least the charts that I've seen. This was also shop haul. This is only the second issue of this magazine that I've purchased. Loved this issue. It's the big issue. I actually did see it at Barnes & Noble yesterday too. So it's the first time I've seen this magazine at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, that's getting stitched. I may even do that before Christmas. Let's see. This punch needle, super cute. I need to pull my punch needle out. I have one somewhere in a box. This tree. And I'm only showing you the ones that I have marked, but I mean, there's a ton of cute stuff in this one. The Santa. Santa. That's a snowman. Maybe I need a nap. Just a snowman head. I'm not editing this, so you get what you get. This. Love it. And I love how the top border looks incomplete on purpose. They made it part of the chart. So cool. The last one I have marked is something that I'll actually do. Excuse me, my nose itched. Is this cat in the window looking at the snowman and deer. But again, I mean, this is just an awesome issue. That dog is cute. Rabbits. That I'm not a fan of this snowman. He kind of scares me for some reason. Like he's frowning, and I don't know. I don't know what's up with that one. Here's another cross stitch. If you avoid this magazine because it's mostly punch needle, there's another cross stitch. This one, winter sheep. That one's pretty cute. I like that they actually put color in it. There's another punch needle. Oh, another cross stitch. Sampler. Yeah. Oh. Cross stitch. I think it's a cross stitch. Where's, oh yeah, there's the chart. This one was cute. With the hearts in there. There's an angel pincushion drum. So yeah, a lot of stuff in this one, guys. Oh, this is cute too. I don't know why this isn't marked, because I actually am considering stitching that one. Thought that was cute. I like how there's a flower in her skirt and everything. And that is Barbara Anna Designs. This is pretty. Oh, that phone. It's down again. Dove with the holly. There. Pick it up. It's a good one. So, last two things I have were cross stitch magazine charts that came from the cross stitch magazine chart sale group. And I bought this, but I might even already have it. I don't know. I have a couple of the magazines that this series was in, but they're cute. And, you know, my poinsettia thing. And I love this with the candle in it, too. So, pick those up. I have a bunch claimed from a gal in the UK. And she's so kind. And she lets me just claim them all. And then she waits until there's a whole bunch of them, because the shipping is so expensive, so she doesn't have to keep sending them out, you know, one or two at a time. So I actually need to check with her, because I think I've got quite a few accumulated again that I need to get those sent over. That's it for haul. Last, not least, not forgotten, my giveaway winner. First, thank you everybody that liked and commented on my last video. I noticed that I've gotten some new subscribers as well. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the videos. This giveaway was the most response I've gotten, and it was great to read all the comments. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you remember, I had asked for entries for the giveaway to be done in the form of sharing a spooky slash personal or, you know, family member experience with paranormal, you know, ghost story. And I got a ton of responses, and oh my goodness, I've never myself had an experience, but I dated a guy in college that lived in a very old farmhouse. His family members lived in old farmhouses along the same street, and they had some experiences that I got to hear all the stories, and wow. So thank you everybody for participating. As you'll recall, it is the World of Cross Stitch magazine that I had a dummy moment and bought the magazine from Barnes & Noble, even though it was going to show up in mailbox that week. So, it has the calendar, it has the free gift. I have not even opened it. I will probably open it to take out my address before I send it. The winner is Carrie at the House of Floss and Fluff. Carrie, thank you for your entry. And I actually have watched her last few videos as well, and she's got some great projects going, guys. So check her out too. That's the House of Floss and Fluff on YouTube. Carrie, get in touch with me. You can find me on Facebook. You can message me on YouTube. Not gonna lie though, I don't know how that works, so it'll be a learning experience. I probably should learn how to message on YouTube. I don't know. But give me your address and I will drop that in the mail this week. Thank you guys again. I hope that I've enabled some stitchy purchases so I'm not alone. And yeah, I had a lot of the finished stuff. I don't think you're going to get that much again for a while. But I hope you guys are having a good stitchy weekend. And I normally don't film on the weekends. It's kind of weird to do a Saturday video versus a Monday video, but I hope that you're getting your Christmas projects done if you've got gifts that you're giving. Get them done early. Don't procrastinate like me. So, can't wait to get caught up on more Flosstube channels, and I've found some new ones. I mentioned the one already. What was it? Emmy Irwin. And I actually did find a couple other new ones as well, so I'm looking forward to watching those and sharing some of those too in the future. So, happy stitching, happy stashing. My kids are still asleep and I get to stitch. Bye, Flosstube.